It's time to take a look at some of today's headlines in newspapers from around the world. And we're now being joined by Arise News analyst Emmanuel Ifeni, Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Tundu. We start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story: federal government, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram must register to operate in Nigeria, gives conditions to lift suspension of Twitter's operation, impose visa ban on Buhari, Malami, others. PDP tells US, UK, others. Yes, the Daily Trust is also reporting this story. Federal government, Twitter, Facebook, others must get license from NBC. Says registration with CAC mandatory. Despite making billions, Twitter pay no tax. They have contacted us for dialogue. Lie. Trump urges other countries to emulate Nigeria. Well, the federal government yesterday insisted that all over-the-top platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter must register with the Corporate Affairs Commission and issue license by the National Broadcasting Commission to continue operating in Nigeria. But the good thing is that Twitter has reached out to Nigeria and both parties are talking. The Nigerian authorities are already talking with Twitter. But how they will comply with these guidelines, we'll see how it pans out. And yes, Rotus in earlier break down the profits or the non-existent profits Nigeria is eyeing from Twitter. Well, if you make profit, you pay tax. If you make losses, I don't think you pay anything on that. But these are all part of the conversation going on between Twitter and the Nigerian government. But if we look at the Daily Trust newspaper again, the front page, a story just below the masthead: 500 killed, 201 kidnapped in my constituency. That's Honorable Kabir Ibrahim Tukura making that statement at plenary in the House of Representatives. And according to this lawmaker, over 15,000 persons have been displaced in his community. And according to him, the police confirmed 88 killed in 11 villages in Danko, Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State in the last 1 week alone. That is police figure. But Honorable Kabir Ibrahim Tukura said, after going around to assess the attack of last week in 11 towns and villages, the actual number of those killed in 1 week in his constituency is 150 Nigerians of Kebbi origin who were killed. So, for those still smiling when we talk about the security of this country or the lack of it, better put, the insecurity that is widespread. Well, the president promised that we will soon hear from him on the Northwest, but the situation in the Northwest is very, very serious. And of course, these citizens have also lost a lot of their property. According to the lawmaker, about 5,000 cattle and 3,000 sheep have been rustled from these citizens. So that is the situation in just one state, in Kebbi State, where last week, that is the report being given by the member from that constituency on the floor of the House of Representatives. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, yes, the lead story: Twitter reaches out to federal government to end impasse. But above the masthead, just beside the masthead, June 12th, presidency to air documentary in honor of Abiola as 1993 election winner. Yes, Tundu, that will be another good tribute to the man, MKO Abiola, our man, your father. Now, below the photograph, IPOB alleges extrajudicial killings in Southeast, accuses security agencies of killing Igbo youths under pretense of hunting for Eastern Security Network. Iwu, angry about attack on police, burning of INEC offices. Now, if we look at the Punch newspaper, NBA readies 13-member legal team. Lai Pantami lead talks with Twitter. We will defend any Nigerian undergoing prosecution for tweeting. Lawyer's body vows. Senate keeps mom unbound. Twitter must now register with CAC, says federal government. Ignore Twitter suspension. Opposition National Assembly members tell Nigerians. Now, if we just look at the other newspapers, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Obasanjo to Nigerians, shun agitation for disintegration. Yes, Obasanjo made that statement yesterday in Abeokuta, asking those who are clamoring for Odua Republic, those who are clamoring for Biafra Republic, to shun such agitation for disintegration of Nigeria. And to quote him, he said, "I believe it will cost us less to work for our unity. There are many things wrong, but those things are correctable if we make efforts to correct them and hold us together than what it will cost us to break up and be perpetually at war. And all our money will be spent in building an army. I know what an army contains. I know what it means to keep an army that may not be productive. Let us think about it." Very sound admonition from elder statesman, former President Olusegun Obasanjo. You cannot fault him when he wades into national issues like this. Now, economic stories, The Guardian newspaper. Why currency crisis, economy worsened despite high oil prices. 2020 fiscal deficit stands at 6.6 trillion naira as debt hits 33 trillion. FX rate may hit 700 to the dollar before next year. Political industry, that's 2023, to add more pressure, says Okpeoluwa. Naira can't be stable without market transparency, says ex-CBN director. Reps urges halt to free fall of Naira value to dollar, other currencies. Now, the Business Day newspaper, worst insecurity in 10 years, gives broke Nigeria headache. They couldn't have put it in a better way. The Daily Independent, despite high jet A1 price, forest scarcity, airlines crash fares. Good news, you will say. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. The Times of UK. Biden accuses Johnson of inflaming Irish tensions. Of course, that same story is on the front page of the Independent newspaper of the UK. Biden to demand Prime Minister act on Northern Ireland. Yes, according to the Times of UK, the US president ordered a rare diplomatic rebuke for a government over Brexit customs row. President Biden ordered the US officials to issue Boris Johnson with an extraordinary diplomatic rebuke. Yes, Yele Lambert, US most senior diplomatic officer in Britain, told Lord Frost, the Brexit minister, that the UK government was inflaming tension. Of course, the issue of the protocol between the EU and the UK. So the US president will also use the meeting with the Prime Minister to back Northern Ireland Protocol and warn the prospect of a US-UK trade deal could be damaged if the current dispute remains without resolution. Of course, Boris Johnson, the president, is also urging the EU to be flexible. Now, the Daily Express newspaper, enough. You have upset the Queen again, Harry. The Queen is upset at being dragged into a further rift between Prince Harry and the royal family on what will have been the 100th birthday of Prince Philip, who passed away recently. Palace insiders insisted Her Majesty was never asked by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex if they could use her childhood nickname, Lilibet.
Well, another day, another alleged gaffe. Thank you, Mr. Fenny.